Auch wieder online. Quantum Suicide Tag 11, glaube ich. Also, das ist jetzt, glaube ich, fast ein Monat Pause zwischen dem letzten Tag. Bisschen was passiert mit dem Spiel. Ganz lustig, ich habe eine Review zu dem Spiel auf Steam geschrieben. Und der Entwickler hat diese auch auf seinen Twitter dann verlinkt. Hat sich über die netten Worte gefreut. Und es gab jetzt wohl ein Patch, die wohl ein paar von den Romance-Ending verlängern sollten. Wir sind jetzt aber wir sind auf der weiblichen Spur. Wir haben letztes Mal Shizuka ein paar Upgrades gegeben. Und jetzt gucken wir, was weiter passiert. No matter how many rounds I made it through, the waiting never got any easier. Knowing I wouldn't be getting back to sleep, I turned on the lights and checked the time on the wall panel. Perhaps it wasn't as early as I thought. Any minute now, day would be.
Already up? You're no fun.
Huh.
Oh, you don't look too happy to see me.
Can we just get this over with?
Okay, Grumpy Pants. I've got a very special surprise for you today.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Come along now. There's no time to waste.
Okay, was passiert hier jetzt? They let me out of my quarters to the engineering and maintenance section of the ship. Why are we in the engineering bay? Where's everyone else?
Surprise! You get a free pass this round.
Wait, seriously?
That's right. You get to watch the other players compete from the safety of this room.
Was? They swept her arm around, indicating the walls of holographic screens all over the room. Each screen showed a different room or hallway in the ship. I spotted one displaying the dining hall, where the other crew members had already gathered. As my feelings of apprehension grew, I slinked back to the door of the engineering bay, but it was already locked. Dai, what are you...
Well, time to go reveal today's game to the lucky participants. Toodaloo!
Dai, get back here and tell me what's going on. Dai had already vanished. I walked over to the screen showing the dining hall, which now contained Dai and the crew members. Too many crew members. I counted again. It didn't make sense. What was going on? Huh?
I'm sure everyone's noticed by now, but I thought I'd make this round a little more interesting by restoring the players that have already been eliminated.
Okay, was geht hier gerade vor? Everyone was there, even the victims of the previous games, the ones whose execution I had been forced to watch. How could they be alive again?
What do you mean restore? How is this possible?
Shizuka ist tot, Katashi ist tot und Sora. Was?
You can't expect me to reveal all my secrets, can you? Now stop interrupting.
Sind die ja nicht einfach Holographe?
Anyway, after your rather disappointing performances in the last few rounds, I've decided to step things up a bit. I've noticed a certain fondness towards a particular member of our happy little family recently. So, for today's very special round of the deletion game, I'm giving you a chance to show how much you care. The rules are very simple. Last one breathing gets to have their way with them.
Scheiße, was geht hier? What? Was geht hier vor? What? What? This is crazy. I didn't agree to this. Nobody else is going to agree to this, right?
This time you have gone too far, Dai. Executing single crew members was horrible enough, but now you are trying to kill us all at once?
Well, technically, 2 of you would survive.
That does not matter. Nobody is going to play this round. Nobody is getting killed.
Oh, silly me. I forgot to mention. If more than one of you is still alive in 8 hours' time, they get executed.
Okay.
That does not change anything. No matter who it is. A single crew member's life is not worth the...
Was passiert hier? What? Habt ihr auch was bei Boy geändert? Ne, hier sieht noch alles gleich aus. The captain suddenly stopped talking. Through the holographic screen, I could see a line of blood trickle from her mouth.
I'm sorry, Captain.
What? Spiel? What? Yoshiki stepped back, tugging his screwdriver out of the captain's neck. What?
I can't let them die. Not when I haven't even confessed my feelings for them yet.
Captain Kimiko Yukimori's lifeless body crumbled in slow motion to the floor. There was a moment of stunned silence, and then the dining hall erupted into chaos. Everyone scrambled for their door. Warte. Tatashi ist keiner von denen, der gestorben ist. Nicht Yoshiki. Hä? Tatashi ran straight for the kitchen, rummaging quickly through the utensils and selecting the sharpest one. But his choice of destination was too predictable. On another screen, I noticed a diminutive figure edging towards the kitchen door. I shouted warnings at the screen, but nobody could hear me. There was nothing I could do but watch in horror. As soon as Katashi opened the door, a unicorn emblazoned backpack slammed into his face, knocking him to the floor.
She is mine! You hear me? All mine!
Shizuka stabbed the horn of her unicorn backpack into Katashi's chest over and over. I turned away and covered my ears, but the scream still made their way through the gaps between our fingers. Okay, ich hoffe, wir träumen. Wir träumen. Next couple of hours were a nightmarish blur. Vladimir drowning Shizuka, Vladimir strangling Yoshiki, Dr. Andreas pushing Vladimir into a matter recycler. Before long, the only ones left were the Vogel twins.
I'm sorry, Beatrix. You know how much I love you. But I love her more.
I understand, Nicholas. Believe me, I do.
Before my eyes could follow what had happened, a syringe appeared deep in Beatrix's neck. Yeah, nice! Crying, he embraced her as the life drained from her body.
If I can't have, neither can you.
Nicholas staggered backwards, his eyes wide in disbelief at the scalpel protruding from his throat. He staggered into the trolley and collapsed with a crash, medical instruments clattering to the floor around him. He tried to speak, but no words came out. As I sank to my knees in disbelief, the eye popped up behind me.
Well, would you look at that? I guess I'm the winner.
I didn't hear her. Couldn't move. Couldn't think. Das Spiel hat aber jetzt gerade nicht verraten, wer sich um Melody gekümmert hat. I couldn't save them. They were all gone. Everyone I had ever known was gone. No, Not quite everyone.
Oh, I just can't wait to.
Huh? Without warning, all the lights in the room went out. The screens vanished, and Dai's sudden silence informed me that she had disappeared. In the dim glow of the failing backup power cells, I could make out a dieses Spiel, ey. Oh. In the dim glow of the failing backup power cells, I could make out a tiny figure crawling out of the maintenance hatch, tightly gripping a bundle of severed wires.
I did it! I won the game!
Oh. Ich habe dieses Artwork schon mal gesehen und habe mich gefragt, was wird der Kontext dafür sein? Jetzt weiß ich's. Scheiße. With the ship's power... With the ship's power gone, the oxygen was starting to drain from the room, but I didn't care. I just wanted it all to be over. Warte. Ist das ein... Nee, das kann nicht die Timeline sein, wo wir als Mann hinjumpen und ganz Sauerstoff drin ist. Wir haben die anderen, glaube ich, getroffen. Hm.
Now we can be together forever!
So. Ich hoffe mal, wir stehen jetzt auf. Ah, natürlich. I snapped awake and sat bolt upright. What a dreadful nightmare. As if I didn't have enough to worry about today. I took a moment to catch both my breath and my bearings when I realized that my clothes were soaking wet. I guess it has to be expected after what I've just seen. I heard clapping from the corner of my quarters.
Bravo! What a show! Encore!
Beatrix, what the hell are you doing in here?
Good morning to you too, sailor.
Seriously, what the hell?
You're so hot when you're flustered. To answer your question, I informed Nicholas and myself that you were experiencing labored breathing and alerted us. And I was the one lucky enough to be there to witness it. Once again, bravo, sailor.
You think this is funny? Beatrix came and sat on the end of my bed.
Oh, sailor, don't get so upset. When I arrived, I realized that you were having a bad dream.
Wouldn't you wake me up?
Well, the answer is twofold. One, nightmares are a perfectly healthy emotional response to anxiety, and it allows your subconscious mind to express itself and stabilize your emotional state.
And the second reason?
Watching you toss and moan while sweating through your clothes was an absolute pleasure to watch.
Ach, Beatrix, go to horny jail. Really?
Sailor, it was a win-win scenario. I stayed to ensure that, when you did wake, you would have someone close by that could comfort you if necessary.
I don't feel at all that comforted.
Are you still frightened now? Like you were in your dream?
Well, I guess not.
You're welcome.
Beatrix smiled at me coyly, perfectly happy to claim all of the glory.
Now, these clothes are going to need to be washed. And so are you.
We'll do the former now.
Why don't I put your clothes onto a wash while you head to the baths?
Ah. Ich wette, die Nummer 3 ist Fanservice. So, kommt doch mit. So. Wow, I just realized how much I sound like my parents.
Oh, how so?
I had to remind them to bathe, or else they'd forget. They were so caught up in their work that they even skipped meals. Must have looked disgusted at my realization that I share such an unhygienic trait with my parents, because Beatrix laughed uncontrollable.
Sailor, don't take it to heart. We all pick up bad habits from our parents, whether we like it or not.
Aw, doch kein Fanservice? Why? What traits did you pick up from your parents?
Well, apart from my stunning beauty, of course. Thanks, Mom. I also got her temper.
I feel like that's more your competitive personality resulting in anger.
Guess who else was combative?
Your mother?
Bingo.
Pretty sure that doesn't count.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
Well, we're talking about traits we wish we didn't get. It seems that you've enjoyed getting angry. Beatrix froze for a moment, as if she just had an internal epiphany.
You're right. Guilty as charged.
Beatrix let out a maniacal laugh.
Now, that's established. Wanna fight me?
Oh yes. I'm good. Thanks. I was pretty sure I could hold my own in a fight against most people, but Beatrix was a completely different beast.
Well, the offer still stands if you change your mind. I have other places to be right now.
Before I could respond, Beatrix excused herself, leaving me to sit in the puddle of my own making. I guess I really should take a bath, but first I should put these clothes on to wash. I literally slipped out of my bed, leaving a trail of droplets on the floor behind me. I hurriedly picked out a fresh change of clothes and shamefully scuttled to the laundry room. When I arrived, I found the captain hovering there. Captain?
Oh, good morning.
What are you doing here?
You are questioning a superior officer about the business she conducts in her own ship?
I guess that had come out a bit ruder than intended. Sorry, I didn't mean that to come out like that. Just wondering why you're here first thing in the morning.
I am here? Wait, why are you so wet?
That's why I'm here. And a bad nightmare. You see the results before you. Wir haben doch jetzt nicht vor... Wir sind dreckig. Wir haben frische Kleidung dabei. Wir haben noch nicht gebadet. Wir kommen ja aus dieser Situation nicht nackt raus.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I am sorry for your struggles.
It's okay, honestly. It forces me to do chores. So, why are you here?
Yes, about that. 2 years ago, Shizuka and I had a falling out of sorts. We drifted apart.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
We were closer when we were younger, but our personalities started to clash more often than not. I am highly work-driven. Productivity is my #1 priority. She had a much looser concept of productivity. I often found myself jealous of her freedom.
Sounds like she's alright.
When she died, I found that her unicorn backpack had a hole in it. She certainly knew this, but she did not ask me to fix it. I know it is too late, but I am fixing it now.
Captain. The captain held back tears as she forced a smile.
I know this will not fix what has passed between us, but I want her to know that, regardless of our drifting apart, I always loved her and only ever wished the best for her. She was capable of much, and self-doubt was her greatest enemy, not me.
I'm sure she knew that.
I guess we will never know. And I know she was always quiet and kept to herself, but even still, I miss her presence.
I smiled in an attempt to comfort the captain before she returned to her repairs. I had no idea that the captain and Shizuka had such a close relationship. It seemed implausible given their personalities, but I guess that was also the root of their problems. And I undressed, placed my clothes in the washing machine, wrapped myself in a towel, and continued on to the baths. I arrived at the baths, where I was greeted by Dai.
Good morning!
Dai, Can you even take a bath?
Heavens no. AI systems don't need to bathe. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't. I like the idea of being dirty.
I was highly amused by her own risk words and smiled ear to ear. Okay, so what are you doing here, Ben?
I've come to get you. What you're experiencing right now is Dai's personalized service that will likely end in your death service.
You said service twice.
I've come.
Huh.
Would you rather I say death twice?
I attempted to backpedal. Upsetting Dai wasn't the wisest thing to do. Oh, actually, I like that you used the service too. That you used service twice. It has a good ring to it.
Why, thank you. I spent many CPU cycles coming up with that name.
Hallo Trix. Boy, hast du was in den ersten 15 Minuten verpasst. Can you assume you want me in the dining hall?
Spot on. You're a smart one.
Okay, let me just get my glove.
Nope. You are to report to the dining hall now.
But I'm in a towel.
I know. Funny, right?
I sighed in resignation. I knew I wasn't getting out of this one. Alright, I'm on my way.
There's a good girl.
Dai disappeared as I made my way to the dining hall. I know I should be more concerned about the deletion gain, but wearing a towel and smelling of Anwar's sweat was currently at the forefront of my mind. I was the last to arrive at the dining hall.
Jeez, you didn't even put clothes on before coming here?
Du mich auch, Dai. Du mich auch. You told me I wasn't allowed to.
Why, I never. I'm a staunch protector of women's modesty. I would never force you to come in a towel.
But
Please, do not fret. We all know Dai summoned you like that on purpose.
Don't worry, bestie. I'll join you so you don't feel alone.
ach, Yoshiki. Oh, dieses Spiel. Yoshiki immediately stripped off his clothes, standing in his underwear and smiling proudly like a fool. Komm, gib uns die CG dafür.
See? Now we're both embarrassed.
Sehr schön, wenn man dann als Entwickler so zu dem Artist gehen muss und so, ja, komm, gib mir das Sprite mit dem Sixpack in Unterwäsche. You don't look embarrassed, and I don't know if this is better. I saw the captain burying her head in her hands in reaction to Yoshiki's display. Beatrix pointed to his starkly naked body.
I was liking where this was going, but now, not so much.
What? Why not?
You're just not my type, sweetie.
Ist das wohl Beatrix Typ? Ara. I could see Yoshiki was offended.
Anyone else want to take their clothes off?
Out of the corner Natürlich. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Melody try to slip her dress off over her head before Vladimir quickly grabbed hold and shoved it back on, shaking his head.
All right, down to business then. Finally. Allow me to introduce the new round of the deletion game. Vampire Children.
Nice. Zeit, um was zu trinken.
Vampire Children is played over 3 cycles. One person will be chosen at random by me and be made the vampire. No one will know for one person will be chosen at random by me and be made the vampire. I'll tell this person in secret, and the 6 other people are humans. No one will know for sure who is a vampire and who is a human, other than themselves. During each cycle, you have the choice to either mate with another person or not. It's not compulsory, but definitely advisable. However, you can't mate with the same person twice, even during different cycles. Where's the fun in that, right? Every time 2 humans mate, 2 children are born. When 1 human and 1 vampire mate, no children are born, but that human becomes a vampire for life, and for point's sake, a vampire child. If 2 vampires mate, nothing happens except a good time. Only the original vampire will know that they're a vampire. Humans who unknowingly mate with a vampire won't know until the end of the game. After each cycle, I will announce the total count, human babies produced, and new vampires created. After 3 cycles, the human and vampire children counts will be tallied. If there are more vampire children than humans, the human that created the fewest human babies will be executed. If more human babies exist, the starting vampire will be executed. Now, 1 versus 6 can seem lonely, so here's my offer to the soon-to-be vampire. The vampire can choose a Bonnie to their Clyde. This person will knowingly and willingly become a vampire in the first round, and will win and lose alongside the vampire. If the vampire wins, so do they, and so they are spared from death. But if the vampire loses, so does that person, and we have a double execution. Be careful though, your Bonnie and Clyde dreams may be short-lived, and your partner might out you as the vampire. So, tell others at your own risk. I will notify you of your human or vampire status sometime before the game begins on Sunday. I will notify you of your human or vampire status sometime before the game begins on Sunday morning. This is my favorite game to date. Any questions? Need me to repeat?
Danke. Wir haben alles. Na, we got it.
About time. Why are you late?
I blew us a kiss before vanishing from the dining hall. I wonder who is going to be made a vampire. What if it was me? What would I choose?
Hey. 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 Hey.
Das wird dir irgendwie... das wird dir irgendwie als Sound gefallen für irgendwas. Raid oder Donation.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Okay, weiter. Huh?
I understand that you are likely deep in thought about the new game.
Yeah, the possibilities are already...
You are, however, still in a towel.
Oh, ich hab's gerade schon vergessen. Look down and immediately remembered my situation. Yes, that I am. If you would please excuse me. I made my way swiftly to the baths. I managed to avoid all the crew for the rest of the day. I was still somewhat embarrassed. I woke up feeling refreshed for once. No nightmares, no sweating. I could get definitely used to this. I sat up in my bed, taking a moment to admire the depths of space visibly from my quarters window. Face to face with the infinite cosmos, it was easy to forget my daily struggles. Oh yes, daily struggles! Thanks, Brian. I don't need to be happy for more than just a moment. God damn it, Rain.
Wonderful. You are awake.
Ah, ist das hier auch die Kimi-Dayton-Route? The captain's figure appeared in a doorway to my quarters. Captain, what's wrong?
I know it is only 4:23 a.m., but could you please join me on the bridge?
Ah ne, das ist wieder die Black Hole-Szene. It's 4 a.m.
Yes, and I must say that you seem quite awake for such an hour. I am impressed.
Alright, give me a second, and I will meet you there. The captain departed as I struggled into my uniform. I was still tucking in my shirt when I arrived.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your time.
No worries, I'm glad I can help. And strangely enough, I was already awake.
I asked you here for...
Just as the captain began explaining, Dai interrupted.
Yawn! Oh, hi there, you two. Didn't see you there.
Good morning, Dai. Dai pointed to me while addressing the captain.
So polite. We should keep this kid around. So polite.
Dai, what is your purpose here?
I wasn't aware that I needed a purpose to drop by and say hello.
I guess you do not. That being the case, how are you, Dai?
I'm so bored. I just want to play games with all of you.
Can we play a game that doesn't result in the death of one of us for once?
What? Such games exist?
Well,
I know they do. Duh.
Ah, das sind alles gute Fragen. Why do you only want to play games with involving death? Other than games, what else do you enjoy? Die ersten zwei interessieren mich. Why do you only want to play games involving death?
That's a great question. 10 points to Griffin something.
What?
It was the name of a bunch of wizards in some old story I read in the database, but I can't quite recall it.
Ha! You're a computer program. How could you forget?
Well, computers have RAM, right? So, logically, if we have memory, we can also forget things.
I don't think that's how it works. I turned to address the captain.
Who you gonna believe here when it comes to computers? A human or an actual computer algorithm? Anyway, death games are just way more fun than regular games.
How exactly are they more fun?
Because you're playing for something irreplaceable.
Can we play for money, or fame, or even collectible stickers?
I don't think you're understanding what I mean by irreplaceable. Death is death. It's final and everlasting. Money, fame, stickers. You can always get more if you lose them. But your life, once you lose it, there's no recovering it.
And I ask once again, that's fun. How?
It's more fun because the threat of death is humanity's only true motivation.
Oh, hat sie schon recht. So it makes us play harder, because we have more to lose.
Bingo!
I hated to admit it, but in some twisted way, that made sense.
Well, this has been fun. Thanks for the company. Toodles!
Dai disappeared, leaving me and the captain alone on the bridge once more.
That was... strange.
It really was. Both stood motionless for a moment.
Ah, yes. The reason I asked you here.
We were back on track, it seemed. Yes, so why am I here?
Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay on course towards the black hole.
Yes, I remember, and your argument made sense. So what's the problem?
We will be at the closest point to the black hole tomorrow just after 4 a.m. and...
Problem suddenly dawned on me. And Shizuka, our navigator,
Exactly.
will navigate us past the black hole? Wir sind immer noch beim Black Hole.
I am the only one left with any experience of ship navigation. As captain, I have had basic training, but I am nowhere near the level of expertise required to navigate this successfully.
Couldn't I help? The captain formed an expression that made me instantly regret my question.
And if Dai decides to visit during navigation?
Yes. Silly me.
I am the only one who can attempt this. But I am not overly confident. People are already dying on my watch. I don't want to sentence the entire crew to death at once.
Captain, I'm sure that even with your minimal experience, you will be able to navigate us, though. You should easily be able to avoid the event horizon, so the only thing we will need to deal with is time dilation. But even then, the effect shouldn't be observable by us.
Time dilation?
Gott, wie oft haben wir das schon gehört in diesem Stream? To put it simple, time passes slower for those closer to a black hole than those further away from it. So a day to us might in fact be a year for others further away. But theoretically, we shouldn't even notice. The captain started looking even more concerned. Nothing I was saying was helping here. Maybe I was making it worse. My father always said that people are like parrots. They love their own reflections and their own voices. Komische Leute. Kann ich nicht unterschreiben. Maybe this is what he meant? Here goes. Ahem, Captain. Would you rather have a 100% chance of death or a 50% chance? Even with you navigating, at least we have a chance of survival. The captain's worried demeanor quickly melted away, and she turned her glance to me, smirking.
Wise words. I wonder where you got them from. But you are right, and so was I. Not chancing the black hole is a death sentence in itself.
See, all better. No point worrying about what we can't control. We either die from a black hole or a psychotic AI system. Both noble deaths. The captain took a moment, looking stern, before breaking into a laugh.
Noble indeed. Thank you for the laugh and for your counsel.
Oh, cute stride. You're most welcome. Now if you excuse me, I have a bed awaiting me. I made my way back to bed, where it was waiting for me, like a loyal friend waiting to embrace me. It was good to be back in bed. I woke hours later feeling groggy and I hauled myself out of bed. Oh ja, das kennt man. Steht um 6 Uhr auf, kurz, fühlt sich wach, geht auf Toilette, wieder ins Bett. Stunde später aufwachen, bam. Komplett Scheißtag. Why do I feel so unwell? I wet my bleary eyes while I tried to focus on the task at hand. Right, back to work. To my work. But a shower first, I think. Ah, yes! Fanservice! Ich stehe um 6 Uhr auf, mach den Wecker aus und lege mich nochmal 2 Stunden hin. Ach, wenn es so einfach wäre. Ach, warum muss auch Arbeit um 8 Uhr anfangen? Hatten wir Beatrix Fanservice in der Route schon? Ich kann mich noch erinnern, dass wir den Rücken gewaschen haben. Aber war das noch als Mann? Ich weiß gar nicht.
Oh, good morning, sailor.
Is it?
I'd argue that it is now that you're here.
Made an indecipherable noise in response.
Still feeling sluggish? Don't worry, the warm water will help.
Also dafür, dass man nicht Theo essen müsste, bräuchte ich auch Ruhe. I hope so.
In fact, while you're here, why don't we bathe together?
Yes! Together?
A mutually beneficial agreement, I assure you. You wash my back and I'll wash yours. We can talk while we do so.
Don't really know if I have time for that.
Taking a moment to relax and, more importantly, imitating normal life can be beneficial for your health.
I don't know. Wow, Spiel. Solange er nicht Sims sagt, ist Beta safe. Oh shit. Now you got me. Join Beatrix. You know what? We might die tomorrow, so why not enjoy our last moments?
That's the spirit. We're all going to die.
Sind diese Terms of Service eigentlich schon echt in Kraft? Man soll nicht mal Simps sagen? Beatrix smiled triumphantly. Moments later, we were both undressed and wrapped in towels.
Now, isn't this much nicer than work?
So, das kennen wir ja schon, aber warum nicht nochmal sehen? It certainly is.
And now that we're alone, we can gossip to our heart's content.
Du darfst noch Simps sagen, du sollst nur niemanden als Simp beleidigen. I haven't really been on the ship long enough to have gathered any gossip.
I always forget about that. How about you tell me who you'd like some gossip on? I'll do my best to fulfill your request.
That's kind of fun.
So, who do you want the dirt on?
Ah, baby. Zwei, vier, fünf. Ich würde gern sehen. Wir können ja mal gucken, ob sie. Wir können ja dann speichern und bei allen reingucken, aber ich will echt wissen, was jetzt Melody sagt.
You want gossip on a child?
Yes?
You are full of surprises, sailor. And apparently you're even more ruthless than me.
Is that a compliment?
Both a compliment and a questioning of your morality.
Wir haben Anime-Frauen nicht immer extreme Rückenprobleme. Kann man da nicht einfach seinen Rücken trainieren, wenn man eine große Oberweite hat? Vielleicht machen die das einfach alle.
Both a compliment and a questioning of your morality.
I take it when you get it. So.
I'm not gossiping about a child, sailor. Even the devil has her limits.
Aw, Beatrix laughed as she brushed off my request. After I washed Beatrix's back, she washed mine, as per our agreement. No one had ever washed my back before. Yikes. Unsere Eltern waren ja echt kacke. I must admit that it was quite a treat. Spending time with her was actually fun. And now I had some dirt on her crew as a bonus. Naja. Okay. Beatrix. Das hat natürlich nicht geholfen. Schade. Vladimir.
Vlad's, eh? Interesting choice.
Why is that?
He's old enough to be a father to most of us. I guess he just seems like a strange target. Let me think.
Beatrix sat for a moment, deep in thought.
Well, this is more about me than him, but it was funny nonetheless.
I'm all ears.
One time, Vladimir and I were drinking in the dining hall. We had already finished a whole bottle of vodka, so I went and found us another bottle. I took a swig on the way back to the dining hall, and I thought that the vodka tasted a bit funny. I told Vladimir that I thought the vodka had gone off because it tasted different than usual. Vladimir took one look at it and he laughed so hard that he fell off his chair.
Was ist mit dem Wodka falsch? Hat sie vielleicht was Falsches genommen? So, what were you drinking?
Water. I had grabbed a bottle of water from the pantry, but I was so drunk that I couldn't even tell.
Ich bin jetzt eher so in die Richtung gegangen, dass jemand den Wodka mit Wasser wieder nachgefüllt hat, damit es keiner merkt. Aber das ist auch nah dran. I forgot what the water tasted like.
In my defense, I don't often drink water.
Was trinkst du dann? I can see why he fell off his chair.
Rather amusing, right?
Beatrix giggled at her own mistake. So. Erzähl mir about your brother.
You expect me to throw my brother under the bus?
Just a little? For fun?
You're lucky I like you, sailor, or else you wouldn't be walking out of this bath alive. Gossip on my sweet little brother.
I'm sure he isn't always so sweet. Uh-oh.
Got it. No one knows about this but myself, Nicholas, and Katashi. And they aren't about to tell anyone, so you should keep this to yourself.
Habt ihr gehört, Chat? Das soll nicht weitererzählt werden. Oh, goodie.
A few years ago, Nicholas and Katashi both mysteriously had broken noses at the same time. We told the captain it was because they ran into each other in a doorway.
But that's not what happened.
Not even close. Nicholas told me everything.
Oh, now I'm intrigued.
Katashi and Nicholas got into a fight over me. I'd eaten something that Katashi was saving for himself, and so he'd come to confront me.
Nicholas stepped in and somehow the altercation came to blows, so they both ended up with broken noses. Ich verstehe Katashi. Ist hier einfach was von ihm? Holy shit. Er hat sich den ganzen Tag darauf gefreut. Und dann sowas. And you saw this?
No, Nicholas told me what had happened afterwards. After all, how can you hide a broken nose?
Guess you're right. So. Nicht saven, loaden. Yoshiki.
Now that's a hard one.
Why's that?
Yoshiki wears his heart on his sleeve and isn't afraid of making mistakes. So it's hard to think of anything that's not already common knowledge. Give me a moment. Got something.
I leaned in. Any secrets concerning my best friend were going to be relished.
When Yoshiki was little, he told everybody that he could see things.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, and it didn't help that his parents encouraged him. He doesn't say it anymore. I assume he grew out of it.
Das ist bestimmt irgendwas komplettes Foreshadowing oder so. What kind of things?
He used to think he could see energy. Weird, right?
That is weird. I wonder what it looked like.
You can't ask him or else he'll know someone told you.
Don't worry, I won't ask. So. Was sagst du denn zu Kimiko?
Going straight to the top. I like your style, sailor.
Aim for the head, right?
Indeed. Something juicy on the captain.
Beatrix took a moment to think before she had a clear eureka moment.
You know the captain sews, right?
Sews. Huh. Ich hätte eher Sews ausgesprochen. Sure.
Well, one time when making a shirt, she sewed the sleeve on backwards and inside out 3 times in a row. She unpicked it, and each time she stitched it back on the same way. It's the only time I've ever seen her lose her cool.
Really? Over something so trivial?
She even threw her sewing kit at Yoshiki's head.
Wow, I really didn't expect that.
Exactly what Yoshiki said.
If I washed Beatrix's bag, she washed mine, as per our agreement. No one had ever washed my bag before. I must admit that it was quite a treat. Spending time with her was actually fun, and now I had some dirt in the crew as a bonus. I returned to my quarters, where the residual warmth from the bath helped me to fall asleep the moment my head hit the pillow. I stared and sought out the clock with my blurry, half-asleep eyes. It was just after 4 a.m. Damn it, body clock. Stop waking me up at 4 a.m. every day. Just wanted to sleep, but my body had made it very clear that it didn't share the same goal. Oh, dürfen wir jetzt jumpen? Yes! Gib uns ein Codewort. I rolled over and observed the room awash in a green light. Huh? I leaned over the bedside table. The pocket watch was lit up a brilliant phosphorescent green. Sweet science! The watch! I tucked myself free from my sheets and sat bolt upright, grasping the watch like a life preserver in a stormy sea. This is it? Wait, what changed? Why is it lit up now? My curiosity overwhelmingly got the better of my caution. So, press the button. Ugh. My heart felt like a steamroller had rolled over at once. Is this a JoJo reference? And then decided to back over it again for good measure. Yare yare. It wasn't only my head. I felt a swift kick to the stomach that left me winded. What the hell?
Looks like we have a stowaway, Bonnie.
Bitte was? Die Zunge macht mir Angst.
Yay! A stowaway!
I opened my eyes to see Beatrix and who I assumed was Bonnie standing over me, dressed as pirates. As I caught my breath, I began to giggle on the floor. Beatrix, what's with that outfit? Is this a fetish thing? And who's Bonnie? Bonnie.
How do you know my name?
Who's Bonnie? How rude! I'm standing right in front of you.
Ah, dieses Spiel. Dieses Spiel. I appeared in the room, also dressed as a pirate. This is just too much. Must have worked. Must have changed dimensions. I began laughing uncontrollably as the sight of I as a pirate, and with relief that the watch had worked.
Please alert the captain of a stowaway. We will escort her to the docking station as per procedure.
Ah, shit. Wir werden wieder rausgeschmissen. Gutes Gesicht. Wir sind halt immer noch tot.
Yes?
I disappeared as Beatrix and Bonnie grabbed an arm on either side of me, lifting me to my feet.
I wonder if the captain will let me keep you. You're kinda cute.
Beatrix smirked playfully at me as you and Bonnie escorted me out of the room. Huh? Keep me?
Like a pet, of course.
Gott, das ist wirklich die Fetisch-Dimension. You want me as a pet?
It's a long time between ports, and a woman like me could do with some company.
Beatrix used her free hand to run her fingers down my face gently, and feared her meaning of company. Ara ara. I attempted to contain my blushing as I tried to explain the situation. I'm not a stowaway. I'm from another dimension.
Yes, of course you are. And I'm Santa Claus. And this stunning beauty here is Mrs. Claus.
Beatrix waved at me playfully. I'm serious. In my world, we're in need of resources and a way to stop Dai killing everyone.
Who's Di?
I's alternate personality that kills people.
I doesn't need an alternate personality to do that. She kills people just fine as it is.
Yeah. Last week she lured 5 men to their deaths with her voice alone when they boarded our ship.
Ist das ein Piratenschiff nur mit Frauen? I kills people. It arrived at the docking bay. Ich hab ein bisschen Angst vor dem Docking Bay. Könnt mich rausschmeißen. Oh no.
Only when she needs to.
Katashi, Nicholas, Beatrix, Shizuka und 4 Original Character. Oh, das kann ja auch sein. Das Spiel ist ja Kickstarter-Backup. Vielleicht konnten Leute ihren Original Character ins Spiel bringen. Ha. Jetzt schmeißen wir mich doch raus. In front of me was the entire crew, all dressed up as pirates, awaiting me. Captain, I can't explain. I'm from another dimension.
Captain, I know we don't usually allow stowaways to stay, but she is so cute.
You know the rules, Beatrix. She walks the plank.
Aww. Sah so lustig aus hier auf der Dimension.
What if I forego my share of the next plunder to keep her?
I said no.
What if I forego my share as well? Given that we will keep her as twins, I will share the cost and responsibility.
God damn it. Das ist wirklich Fetish Dimension. The captain turned to me.
You have a choice. Either you walk the plank or you accept their payment for your life and become the obedient pet of the Vogels.
Put a leash on me and call me Fido. Ach, wir können ja uns beide angucken. Erstmal rüber.
Are you serious?
Walk me.
She has made her decision.
What an ungrateful little worm. It will be my pleasure to throw you from the ship.
I'm not your pet, Beatrix. We were supposed to be partners. I started becoming upset. My life was about to end, and at the hands of the one I loved.
Excuse me?
Wait, I thought. My eyes swelled with tears at the thought that I may never see my Beatrix again.
Partners.
I thought we could. Beatrix let out a hearty laugh at my expense.
I am no one's partner.
Yoink. Also, ich glaube, da wurde das falsche Sprite eingefügt. Wobei. Didn't have time to think. With those last words, Beatrix pushed me out of the airlock. I didn't have time to think or react as the cold depths of space, about minus 270 degrees Celsius, caused my body to swiftly freeze away. Death was quick, painless, heartbreaking. And you just stopped thinking. You have died. Sad, isn't it? So. Switch to girl. Jump. Even game developers have friends. Put a leash on me and call me Fido.
That's a good girl.
Beatrix patted me on the head and smiled unapologetically.
Thank you, Captain. We will ensure that she is no trouble.
She had better not be, or she will walk the plank immediately.
Es geht schon doch ein bisschen weiter. I was swiftly escorted back to the shared quarters of the Vogels. Spent the rest of my life as the Vogels' pampered pet. Okay. It wasn't what I was expecting, but there was no my deaths. Well, apart from those we killed during our pillages. Yay for space pirating. And this dimension's Beatrix was very much the same as the Beatrix I once knew, so in a twisted way, I guess I lived a happier life. Okay. Wir hatten Best Ending. Ich glaube, wir können jetzt das Spiel aufhören. Nee, falscher Knopf. Wobei, warte. Hä? Ich kann doch einfach das Save verlieren. Dann ist er auch noch da. And don't press the button. Chapter 4. I hate to take the time and think about this rationally. I've literally no idea what will happen if I press this button. Push the watch away from me, my imagination running away with me as I conjured up all sorts of gory and horrific ways it could go. Diesmal hattest du Glück. I could be maimed or worse. Someone else could be maimed.
Maybe your maimed body parts could swap with someone else's, and then suddenly you'd have a hairy man's arm hanging off of you. That's, like, super gross. There might be some sort of instant evolutionary benefit, though. You might create the next hairy superhuman race.
I covertly tucked the watch away, trying not to let Di see me do this. Dai, what are you doing here?
Just here to make sure that you keep the naming of crewmates to a minimum.
Sure.
I was bored. I told that dimwit I to take a breather while I did her chores.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw you were awake, so I decided to come and play with you.
Of course, what you even need to do.
Well, I get assigned a long list of things to do by the Capitan, but I decided to make some modifications to that list.
What could be more important than the task assigned by the captain?
I can tell that you'll find out in 3, 2, 1. Toodles!
Wait, where are you going? Suddenly an incessant banging noise began at my door. Hello? Dai's disembodied voice cackled throughout my room.
Let me get that for you. Have fun!
What? No. Who is it? What's happening? Beatrix stormed through the door before I had fully opened. I could practically see steam coming from my ears.
What is the meaning of this?
What do you mean?
Why the hell did you ask I to wake me up?
Uh-oh. I didn't.
Then why did I pump loud music into my quarters before claiming that you asked for this specially?
Oh, wurden getrollt. I? Don't you mean die?
Wait.
Sudden realization dawned over her scarlet features.
Die.
Dai appeared again in my courses, laughing hysterically.
Die. This was your doing.
I can't believe you fell for it.
Why would you do this? Aren't we already tormented enough by your games?
Dai just shrugged non-committedly.
Bored?
Dai chortled with renewed vigors. She faded away once more. Beatrix looked slightly embarrassed, but she still didn't apologize for the mix-up. Als ob sie das tut.
So, what are you doing awake this early?
I've been woken up at this time so often recently that I think my body clock's stuck waking up at 4 a.m.
That's an incredibly uninteresting reason. I expected more from you.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, there's more, is there?
Eigentlich nicht. When I woke up, I noticed this. Die Uhr. I dangled the watch in front of Beatrix. The green lights on the front panel reflected brilliantly off of the lingering shiny red of her cheeks.
And
Hallo,
is that
Rakaton.
it?
Apparently only I knew the reason why this was exciting. Beatrix, this is a watch that may be able to connect to other dimensions.
So,
So?
does it?
Of course. Well, I actually have no idea.
And why not?
I haven't pressed the buttons yet.
I ask you again, why not?
I don't even know if there are benefits to changing dimensions.
Oh? You'd rather spend some more quality time with Di?
Yeah, quality time with dir. Well, not particularly.
Sailor got a crush?
Hot red blood rushed into my cheeks. Well,
Oh, I'm right. So, who's the lucky guy?
who said anything about a guy? Oh, wir sind confident. Like it. I saw a tiny smile twitch in the corner of Beatrix's mouth. She looked very smug indeed.
In that case,
Yes?
you're forbidden to press any buttons.
Wait, what? You can't just...
Forbidden.
Doctor's Orders? Plot thickens. Ach, Rakaton, was du schon verpasst hast heute. Beatrix Fanservice gab's auch schon. Und wir waren in der Piraten-Fetisch-Dimension, gerade eben, vor 10 Minuten. Forbidden. An awkward silence followed.
I'm.
Uh-oh. Corona. Monka ass. Huh?
I'm sorry.
I couldn't quite catch what she was saying as she trailed off. Still didn't hear you. You mind saying that a bit louder?
I said I'm sorry.
Kleine Tsunare. Okay, jeez. What for?
I came in yelling at you for something that you clearly had no part in.
Don't worry about it. I can fool even the best of us sometimes.
I understand that if you called for me so early, it would have been for an important reason. Even so, all I thought about in the heat of the moment was myself.
Aww. Beatrix's eyes locked with mine, soft and vulnerable. I felt that I may be one of 2 people to have ever seen those eyes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Really.
In the future, I will do my best to withhold judgment until I know the full breadth of the situation.
Ich glaube, als weibliche Charaktere flirten die irgendwie mehr mit uns. Haben wir einfach mehr Glück. That's really sweet. Thank you.
But if you ever wake me at 4 a.m. just for fun, don't expect to live to see another morning.
Verständlich. Roger that. I will be fully prepared to meet my maker. Beatrix laughed, looking relaxed for the first time since she came in.
Don't you forget it.
So, you're going back to bed, then? Ja, bleib doch gleich in meinem.
I most certainly am. Want to join me, sailor?
Yes! Aww. Flattered, but I take a rain check on that. I take a rain check on that. Ich kenne diesen Spruch, aber ich habe mir noch nie ganz angeguckt, was er eigentlich bedeuten soll. Ich kenne es halt als einfach als Verneinung.
Oh, why's that?
Free to... Wait, Nicholas? Du bist auch in dem Bett? Free to a bed is a bit too crowded for me.
Don't be shy. Nicholas and I share everything.
That may be, but have you considered that I'm the one who doesn't want to share? Beatrix placed her hand over her heart, pretending to swoon.
Oh, sailor. You really know what to say to a woman. Well then, until next time.
As she left, she blew a kiss over her shoulder without missing a step. Beatrix was truly one of a kind. I felt a goofy grin growing on my face. I returned to the end of my bed, looking once again at the watch. Beatrix's cautionary words repeated in my head. Her strong resolve that I not press the button was reassuring.
Hey. Hey!
Huh?
Earth 2.
Die?
No, it's the Easter Bunny.
Sorry, I was spacing out.
Of course you were. You didn't even hear my announcement.
What announcement?
Ugh, it doesn't matter. You're exactly where you were supposed to be anyway.
Ah, jetzt kommt wieder. Sind wieder der Vampir? Oder ist das Beatrix? Ich gehe mal kurz für einen Moment AFK. Okay.
Don't look at me like that. I'm the bearer of good news.
Is good news something that even exists on this ship?
Very funny. You know that good news always follows when I turn up.
Alright, I bite. What is it?
No biting for you. You're human, unfortunately. So if anyone's getting bitten, it's you.
How's that in any way unfortunate?
You're saying you'd rather be human than a vampire?
Of course I would.
Why?
Numbers don't lie. It's undeniably easier to make human babies than vampire offspring. Well, I have 5 people to make babies with, and the chances of them being the vampire are relatively low.
Yes, but you don't know who the vampire is.
But the odds are still in my favor.
Not if the vampire wants you dead, they aren't.
Wait, do they? I shrugged.
I don't know. You'll have to ask them yourself.
Who is it? I vanished, but her laughter continued over the PA. A drama queen as always. I took the red watch from my pocket and placed it in the top drawer of my bedside table. You're going to have to wait until I've dealt with the problem at hand. Dad was right, however. If the vampire wanted me dead, there was very little I could do about it. But did I have any reason to think that any of the crew wanted me dead? Have I upset anyone recently?
I don't know, Sailor. Have you?
I jumped a foot in the air at the sudden appearance of Beatrix behind me. How?
Medical department staff can override quarters security at their discretion.
Oh, das sehe ich ja jetzt als Violation an. Erstmal Medical License wegnehmen. I seem to remember being told that once before. Good thing I kept Beatrix on my good side.
We have very little time, so listen well.
Little time for what? Beatrix's finger on my lips muffled my response.
Sailor, shut it. For once.
I glared at her, but I nodded in my consent. She removed the finger and continued.
I'm the vampire. Nicholas has already agreed to be my client.
Oh. Das ist schön gemacht. Ich dachte, jetzt kommt wieder die Richtung, ey, yo, willst du wieder mein Kleid sein? Das mag ich.
You are to make sure to breed with people you know are human every round until the last round, at which time you and I will breed. This will ensure that Nicholas and I win and that you aren't among the lowest scoring humans.
Oh, das wird jetzt interessant. A, können wir refusen? Können wir bestimmt. Und B, ist mal jetzt eine Runde, wo wir Vampire's Children gewinnen? Oder passiert wieder was, dass wir verlieren? Oder Beatrix? Oder oh shit, beide.
Believe me when I say that I wanted you to be my Clyde, but that would raise suspicion amongst the rest of the crew. They will expect that regardless of the situation. Nicholas and I would pair first.
Oh, you really thought this one through?
It was all Nicholas, really. I threw a tantrum when he said that I couldn't breed with you. But this way, I keep both the people I care about alive.
Aww.
What do you say?
Hell no, of course. Sounds like a great plan. Wobei, wenn wir das nehmen... Die bringt uns im Schlaf um. Ich sehe es schon kommen. Beatrix smiled, looking truly fearless and formidable.
Of course it is. We make an unstoppable team.
Through this blood pact, the vampires shall rule.
I have to admit, you're starting to grow on me.
Thanks.
From now on, you are an honorary Vogel. Arise, Vogel.
Kaname Date Vogel. Huh? Kaname Date Vogel, huh? There's a nice ring to it.
Just remember, blood is thicker than water.
We don't actually share the same blood, you know?
For all intents and purposes, you do now. Well, I'll return to my station in the medic bay. My prolonged absence will draw suspicion.
Beatrix bumped the tip of her index finger against the end of my nose.
See you forget the gang, sailor. May the rivers and oceans run red with the blood of our enemies.
Beatrix's confident smile sent a warmness straight to my core. She left, but I felt strangely safe, like her presence was still there, watching over me. I sat, playing out multiple scenarios of how the game could go in my head. If anyone could pull this off, it would be the Vogels. I was glad to have them looking out for me. Right on time, my stomach loudly reminded me that all this scheming required fuel. I was just about to pack up and head to the kitchen when I appeared. Ah, jetzt dürfen wir wieder versuchen, unser Passwort einzugeben.
We need to speak.
Good morning.
I do not have long. Come to the server room.
I stepped out of my quarters, leaving me quite confused. I'd never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried, a side of her I hadn't really seen before. I looked at my tablet to locate the server room. I'd never been there. It wasn't long that I had the location and made my way there. When I arrived, I was already standing in attention, waiting my arrival.
I must make this quick. Dai is brute forcing row codes and functions.
What?
She is attempting to take control, but I am doing my best to keep her at bay for now.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Dai discovered that the tablets belonging to the ship's personnel were capable of overriding the main system, and so she has patched that exploit.
I can no longer deactivate Dai?
You can, but it must happen here, directly at the server mainframe.
But I don't know the password.
This is your only chance. I have gained the security clearance required to allow you to override the system.
What? I'm not ready.
Once you input the override code, the ship's AI system will reset.
I don't have the deactivation code. I started to flicker as I could see she was struggling to keep all functions operational. So the screen burst to life at the back of the server room, opening to a password input screen. I subsequently disappeared, her voice ringing out through the PA.
You always had it.
That override code. The terminal keyboard is case sensitive. Please use lowercase for all operations. Warum soll ich nur Dings benutzen? Warum habe ich überhaupt Großbuchstaben? Ad Astra. Per Aspera. Chimico. Input not recognized. I just don't know. The screen suddenly shut off, with the lights dimming in the entire server room. Huh? What? I? There was no response. I? Still nothing. Using the walls to guide me, I slowly navigated out of the dark server room into the hallway, which was equally dark. Oops. Hello? Ah, wir dürfen das Spiel nicht spielen. What was going on? I started walking down the hallway when I heard Melody scream. Without stopping to think, I ran as fast as my feet could take me down the hallway towards Melody's voice. I was running blind, but adrenaline had sharpened my reactions to almost superhuman levels. Melody! I stopped for a second, trying to slow my breath so I could pinpoint her. I could hear her quiet sobbing somewhere close by. I followed the sound into a room just down the hall. Everyone is dead, oder? Yikes. Dann können wir doch mal die Option nehmen und sagen Nein zu Beatrix. My chest tightened as I took in the scene. Beatrix and the captain. The lifeless eyes captured the horror that they had clearly experienced in the last moments. Melody, What happened?
The captain attacked Beatrix, and after that, I closed my eye.
It's okay. I'm here now. Everything is going to be okay. My words vanished along with my breath, rushing out through the gaping wound that suddenly appeared in my back, penetrating deep into my lungs. I tried to speak again, but only blood poured from my lips. It tasted copper and something else. The words eluded me, just like they had escaped my lungs earlier. Oh, das ist so ein bisschen so das U-Boot-Ending von 999.
He could not save us either.
Huh?
He could not save us either.
I collapsed forwards, coming to rest neatly between Beatrix and the captain. The floor was cold on my face, but somehow I was even colder inside. Ja, wer war's? Wer war's? Beatrix, I'm sorry. Looks so like we weren't getting the happy ending we were hoping for. The immense effort it took to keep my eyes open no longer seemed worthwhile, now that everything had gone dark anyway, without even knowing how or why I died, nestled between Beatrix and the captain. Oh, ich will ja nicht sagen, wer es war. Das Spiel. Okay, das kennen wir schon.
Just get out. Sheesh. Can't a girl get a look?
Ist das was anderes? Oh. What? Okay, den Screen hatten wir auch schon mal. Ah. What the hell had happened here? Ja, Shiki. Und Captain Nummer 2. I need you. Nothing. Die! Die stepped into the room, and the scene that awaited put a shocked look on even her face.
Wow, you couldn't wait for the game, huh? Would you just look at this mess? You're one bloodthirsty animal. I'm so proud.
It wasn't me. I ran over to Shizuka. She'd been bleeding. Wait. Switch to girl. Das CG macht ein bisschen... Es macht keinen Sinn. Shizuka ist schon tot. Ha. Naja. I ran over to Shizuka. She'd been bleeding heavily from her torso, but the bleeding had since stopped, along with her heart. I made my way to Yoshiki, pulling him from the bath, but it was too late. He was already dead.
I'm not a doctor, but they are like really dead.
My eyes traced the blood trail through the bath towards the back of the room. An arm lay at its source, sticking out from around the corner.
I wouldn't go back there if I was you.
Why not?
I'm registering a life form.
Someone is still alive. Before Dai could respond, I sprinted over, praying that at least someone had survived. My mind raced as I approached, turning the corner.
I think you might have misunderstood.
Dai stood beside me as I looked up and came face to face with the captain. I barely had time to register the glint of steel. I looked down and saw the hilt of a knife protruding awkwardly from my stomach. At my feet was the motionless body of what looked like... the captain? Wait, didn't she... I looked back up and saw the hand of the captain still in front of me, having just embedded the knife into me. Captain?
Why are there two captains? And why are you stabbing him?
Dai seemed just as confused as I did. Uh-oh. The captain didn't answer, but yanked the knife from my stomach instead. I fell to my knees, crippling pain radiating out from my stomach. Sending my whole body into shock, I clutched desperately at the wound. Everything's going to be okay. Dai staring quizzically at the captain, ignoring the fact that I was bleeding out on the floor. I just need to stitch this up. Dai, please help me. I tried to hold myself up by leaning on the adjacent wall, but my strength failed me and I slid slowly down, leaving a crust me of blood as I sank.
You killed Kimiko?
Yes?
But you are Kimiko.
Yes.
My primary directive is that Kimiko never be slain.
Yes.
But you...
Yes.
And she is...
Yes.
Hey, yes, hey, yes, hey!
I failed.
Suck it.
That is correct.
Dai's face was overcome with an immense sadness, even as I quietly bled out on the floor. I felt sorry for her. Dai turned to me, her eyes locking onto mine.
Your injuries are fatal. You will die shortly after losing consciousness in a moment or two.
Not the worst news I've been given today. Dai smiled sincerely, perhaps for the first time.
I'm sorry you died. That everyone died. For no reason.
That was the last thing I ever heard. You've died. Ah, mehr Achievements. Achievements, das wollte ich kurz gucken. Das hatten wir schon alles. Also stimmt, da gab es ja einen kleinen Text dazu. Hier. The makers of this game are game dev BFF with Young Mobile, creators of the latter. Oh, hi guys. Ach, das war kein Kickstarter Ding oder so, das war einfach Crossover. Nice. The latter. Kann ich auch mal später gucken, was das für ein Spiel ist. Und das hatten wir jetzt noch. Das hatten wir auch schon alles. Da. This game is to die for. Die at least 5 times at unique points in the story. Surely this wasn't intentional. Nobody could be so unlucky to die 5 times unintentionally, right? So. Dann können wir... Okay, jetzt gucken wir mal, was passiert. Wir sagen nee zu Beatrix. Switch to go. Hä? Switch to go. Don't jump. Hab ich gerade was Falsches gedrückt?
Maybe your main...
Okay, jetzt bin
just
ich
here to
richtig.
make sure...
Of course, the very reason why my parents stopped the research could have been the discovery of a fatal flaw in the device, rendering it deadly to anyone attempting to use it.
Then don't press the button.
Seem to have made up your mind very quickly. Why the sudden change?
If you were to die,
Beatrix halted mid-sentence, biting her lip to stop. Was that a whimper that I heard almost escape? Beatrix?
forget it. Just don't press it, okay?
I'm so tempted now. I hovered my hand over the watch, pretending to be about to push the button. Was that a flash of fear I saw in her eyes as I did?
If you press that button, you'd better hope it kills you, because if it doesn't, I'll do it myself.
Whoa, okay. I won't press the button, I promise.
Thank you.
She scowled at me. An awkward silence followed up.
I'm
Huh?
sorry.
I couldn't quite catch what she had saying as she trailed off. Still didn't hear you. You mind saying that a bit louder?
I said I'm sorry.
Okay, geez, what for?
I came in yelling at you for something that you clearly had no part in.
Don't worry about it. I can fool even the best of us sometimes.
I understand that if you called for me so early, it would have been for an important reason. Even so, all I thought about in the heat of the moment was myself.
Beatrix's eye locked with mine, soft and vulnerable. I felt that I may be one of 2 people to have ever seen those eyes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Really?
In the future, I will do my best to withhold judgment until I know the full breadth of the situation.
That's really sweet. Thank you.
But if you ever wake me at 4 a.m. just for fun, don't expect to live to see another morning.
And roger that. I will be fully prepared to meet my maker. Beatrix laughed, looking relaxed for the first time since she came in.
Don't you forget it.
So, you going back to bed then?
I most certainly am. Want to join me, sailor?
Flattered, but I'll take a rain check on that.
Oh, why's that?
3 to a bed is a bit too crowded for me.
Don't be shy. Nicholas and I share everything.
That may be, but have you considered that I'm the one who doesn't want to share? Beatrix placed her hand over her head, hot, pretending to swoon.
Oh, sailor. You really know what to say to a woman. Well then, until next time.
As she left, she blew a kiss over her shoulder without missing a step. Beatrix was cruelly one of a kind. I felt a goofy grin growing on my face. I returned to the end of my bed, looking once again at the watch. Beatrix's cautionary words repeated in my head. A strong resolve that I not press the button was reassuring. So.
Hey. Hey.
Jetzt, was passiert, wenn wir nicht... Wer bringt uns dann um? No, I'm not comfortable with this idea. Aww. Beatrix's face contorted with intense displeasure.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
I don't want to be a vampire. I want to... Oh mein Gott. Wir sind so tot. I want to live.
I am handing you a guaranteed chance to live on a silver platter. Don't you dare turn this down after all this effort I've gone to.
I can't in good conscience knowingly send others to their death in our place. Beatrix's face became blank and emotionless.
I'm disappointed in you. I had you pinned as someone who would recognize an opportunity when they saw one.
Beatrix had called me by my name. I had a growing feeling that I may have made the wrong choice, no matter the outcome of today's game. I'm sorry, Beatrix. I truly am.
There's no guarantee you won't tell the others.
Oh Gott, sie bringt es gleich um. I give you my word.
I can't put Nicholas at risk, not because of my lack of judgment.
Wait, you don't mean... In a flash, Beatrix was on top of me, and her hand was at my neck. A sharp, searing pain immediately followed.
And here was me thinking you were the one. What a fool I am. Nicholas was right.
I scrabbled back across the floor, trying to put as much distance between me and Beatrix as I could. She watched, but didn't make any further moves. I grabbed at my neck, where the pain was already receding. What have you done?
Tied up loose ends.
Beatrix, I thought we trusted each other. Selber schuld.
Consider yourself lucky. You won't feel a thing.
Ist aber auch schon krass der Gedanke, dass sie daran auch mitgedacht hat. Feel a thing. Even as the words came out of my mouth, I already felt my body becoming heavy and unresponsive.
You know it has to be done.
You're killing me. Beatrix nodded unapologetically.
Technically, you're already dead. There's no antidote to what I've given you.
But wir hatten doch unseren Fanservice. I collapsed against the wall, sliding down onto the floor in a limp heap.
You're going to feel really relaxed. So relaxed, in fact, that your heart is going to stop. But that won't happen till you're sound asleep. So shush now and close your eyes.
Beatrix sat down beside me and ran her hand tenderly through my hair.
Even in your last moments, you're still cute, sailor.
Beatrix leaned down and kissed my forehead. Even as I lay there, dying by her hand, hearing her call me sailor one last time was somehow comforting.
Maybe, in another world, You're my Clyde.
The last thing I heard was Beatrix sighing before blackness crept across my vision and sank into an everlasting sleep. Verdient. So, wir haben immer noch nichts Neues zum Passwort. Dann müssen wir jetzt mal... Wir sind gestorben, jemand aus dem Gegnerteam ist gestorben, jetzt müssen wir jemanden aus unserem Team verlieren.
Good morning! Rise and shine, kids! This is your friendly neighborhood AI requesting you all be in the dining room within half an hour or face the consequences. I repeat.
Aha. Okay, beim letzten Mal, also Shizuka und mein Tod. Das heißt, wir hatten noch keinen Tod in unserem Team. Da ich nicht sterben sollte... Ich würde sagen, Yoshiki wird dann der Letzte sterben, oder? So. Schreiben wir uns diesmal auch von vorne an, falls wieder das Spiel wir Probleme haben, die andere Route zu erreichen.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nein.
Is every
So, 1.
Thank you. Your tablets will now display your team's individual points. The suspense is killing me. Let's move on to round 2. Your five.
Okay, my sig-
So,
Your input has been accepted.
1, 2.
I
If we lose,
But we should be alright with another tie. Then both teams will still be at 0.
I do not want to cut it that fine.
if we lose, you and I need to make a tough decision.
Team A.
Given we had tied, it was no surprise to see the others sitting in one corner of the dining hall, looking glum. At least Mallory had stopped crying.
Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Skate Pants. This round of the deletion game could not have proceeded without their support.
Can we please just get this over with?
Wow, rude. Do you want us to lose our funding? Ahem. Since Captain Impatience over here insists, allow me to present the results of round 2. Wah! Team A, you are my hero. Let's move on to round 3 then. Team A, you're 5 minutes.
We might be
One.
So.
Well, I gotta tell ya, this is very disappointing. I
Okay,
expected
1,
great
2,
things
3.
out of you.
Hat nicht funktioniert. So. Machen wir es doch mal ein bisschen klüger. Wir skippen vorn. Und wenn wir beim ersten sind, speichern wir. Dann nehmen wir das.
Is everyone in agreement?
So, 2. Sagen wir mal 2, 2, 3 oder sowas.
Maybe I put the money on
I know.
Team.
So, was macht denn 2, 2, 2?
Well, I gotta tell ya.
So, wieder wir verloren.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, 2, 2, 2 sah schon mal interessant aus. Und dann müssen wir gucken, dass wir uns noch Punkte geben. Hier 3. And the visual score 1.
Well, Team A, not only did you lose, but you couldn't even lose so you all did either way.
Okay, wieder wir tot. Nee, load.
You will go down. Well, I gotta tell ya.
Ups. Ich hab aus Versehen gesaved. So. Ja, jetzt. Ich skippen. Danke.
Is every
Yeah.
3.
Thank you.
3, 1, 2, sagen wir mal das.
Really? Team,
3.
your 5-minute start.
all right?
Well,
So.
Team A, I guess two kinds. Not only did you lose, but so. Congrats.
Das hat auch nicht geholfen.
Is
3.
everyone in?
You're in. Wah! Let's Team A. Congratulations, and that means
Okay, sind wir wieder hier. Goddammit, Spiel.
Is everyone in?
2. Hier.
really
Please,
Team. Let's.
Jetzt.
Congratulations, Team A! After 3 rounds, you have come out and.
Is everyone?
Ups, ne. 2. 4. 2.
Well, Team A, I get. Not only did you lose, but
Schon wieder.
Is everyone?
Yeah.
Is everyone?
2. 4. 3.
congratulations, Team B! After 3 rounds, you have come out victorious! And that means, Team
So.
A, you lose. Congrats! And the lucky winner of the wheel is Yoshiki!
Yay! Richtige Timeline. Natürlich war es Yoshiki. Ich glaube, jetzt daten wir einfach Nicholas.
Congratulations, Yoshiki! Now, how to kill you? Can I get some suggestions from the audience?
None of us suggested anything. In my case, it was total shock.
No? What about you, ma'am? The lady with the scowl?
This isn't funny, Doug.
Congratulations, Yoshiki. You have won electrocution!
Ah, schon wieder?
well, I guess it's a fitting way for me to die.
What? How so?
Yoshiki's father accidentally electrocuted himself to death.
Tja, wie der Vater, so der Sohn.
You could say it's something of a family specialty.
That is pretty strange family specialty. Yoshiki laughed half-heartedly at my poor attempt to lighten the mood.
Yeah, my family is pretty strange.
All right, I've surveyed the ship, and the best place to get electrocuted is the engineering bay. No surprise there. You all know the drill. Let's move it.
We started making our way towards the engineering bay. Yoshiki walked between me and the captain, chatting along the way as if it were any other day.
Kimmy, do you think there's an afterlife?
What do you think, Yoshiki?
I think there might be.
I'm sure there is. And I'm sure your parents are waiting for you.
You really think so?
Of course I do. I'm just jealous they'll get to have you all to themselves.
Captain's eyes started to well up with tears, but she fought them back.
Well, don't worry, Kimmy. At this rate, I might see you next week.
Yoshiki grinned playfully at the captain.
I'll be sure to clean up before you arrive. I can't have you scolding me in the afterlife, too.
We'll see.
At that point, we arrived at the engineering bay, where we found Dai standing in front of the fuse box, looking quite pleased with herself.
All right, Yoshiki, if you would step this way, open this box, and, you know, grab onto some of the live wires, that would be awesome.
This isn't my first electrocution, Dai. I know how to kill myself.
Passend. Es ist schon einmal passiert.
Oh, well, Oh, well, sorry for trying to be helpful.
Well, this appears to be my stop.
Sorry, BFF. Going to miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too. Could you do me a favor while I'm gone?
Name it.
Would you check in on Kimiko every once in a while?
You've got it, Yoshiki.
She especially likes it if you're late all the time.
I try my best.
Yoshiki, I'm sorry.
This isn't your fault.
I just want to say, you saw Melody crying and you didn't even care about the rules. Thank you.
Achso, stimmt ja. In der Timeline waren es Yoshiki und Melody, die Regeln gebrochen haben.
Of course I didn't care. Melody?
Huh?
You take care of your daddy, okay?
Melody is crying again, but she did her best to not. Yoshiki said his goodbyes to everyone before hugging the captain, who began to cry again despite her best efforts.
Kimmy, sis, I love you. And I always will.
I love you too, Yoshiki. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm so sorry.
What did I say about crying?
The captain sniffled before pulling away from the hug to salute Yoshiki.
Officer Sasaki, thank you for your contributions to the Everett. You have been relieved of your duties.
The crew all saluted Yoshiki, who seemed embarrassed by all the attention. Died cleared her throat and made a wrap-it-up gesture with her right hand.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yoshiki just smiled as he grabbed onto the exposed wires in the fuse box. His body jolted violently as thousands of volts ran through his body. The hairs on my head tingled as electricity filled the air. Its cacophonous crackle permeated the room, harsh to the ears. Oh, ist glaube ich auch neu. Held onto the captain, looked as if she was moments away from reaching out and grabbing Yoshiki's twisted form. The last thing we needed right now were more unnecessary deaths. After a few moments, Dai cut the power to the fuse box, and Yoshiki's burned and lifeless body slumped to the ground.
Job well done, Dai. He's definitely dead.
Dai gave herself a small pat on the back. As soon as the electricity stopped, I let go of the captain, who was immediately on the ground with Yoshiki. She was propping him up in her lap, attempting to get any response.
Yoshiki? Yoshiki?
Nicholas knelt down to check Yoshiki's vitals. He raised his head to meet the captain's eye.
I'm sorry, Captain.
The captain broke down in tears, hugging Yoshiki so tightly that her cries were muffled by his lifeless body. Captain, I
Leave her be.
stepped away from the captain and stood back with the rest of the crew.
We all have places to be. Let's get out of here and allow the captain to grieve in peace.
I stood for a moment longer, watching as the captain continued to cry into Yoshiki's chest. Unable to bear it any longer, I finally turned and left. Chapter 3. I couldn't sleep. Yoshiki's death was my fault. I was the captain of our team, and I felt entirely responsible for his death. I felt incredibly frustrated, so decided to get up and vent my brimming anger at the gym. Waren wir da schon mal? Ah, okay, da. Once there, I mounted a treadmill and just ran. It wasn't until I stumbled, almost slipping on the running belt, that I realized that my tears had created a dangerous slick underfoot. I stepped off the treadmill and caught my breath on a bench nearby. I wiped my eyes and tried to stand. My legs didn't want to obey me.
Hey!
Aw. Huh?
Excuse me?
Nicholas? Opened my eyes and found Nicholas bending down over me, his hand gently rocking me awake.
Good morning.
Ist es wirklich Nicholas' route? I sat up suddenly, realizing that I had fallen fast asleep, sitting up in the gym. I must have looked a mess. Sitting up? Good morning, Nicholas.
I'm not a doctor, but sleeping on a bench in the gym is probably not great for your posture.
Warte, du bist ein Doktor. Nicholas smiled playfully.
Oh, wait, that's right, I am a doctor. And I do not recommend whatever this is.
Nicholas pointed at me laughing. He took a seat next to me.
Are you okay?
Oh, das sind alles gute Gründe. Aber ich denke, das erste ist am besten zum storytechnisch.
Yoshiki's death was not your fault.
But du hast the leader.
We all agreed on our team's point allocations.
Should have done more to protect him.
Honestly, I've replayed the game in my head over and over again, and I'm unsure we could have made any better choices.
What do you mean?
The game was designed to kill someone. If not Yoshiki, then it may have been you.
I think I would have rather died so Yoshiki could live. Nicholas straightened up, looking very grave.
You will not be dying on my watch.
But we could have saved Yoshiki. Also der Tod war es schon deine Schuld. Du wolltest ja. Wir waren ja Timeline-mäßig, hatten wir schon Shizuka. Und hier kommen wir nicht weiter. JF bringt mir nichts weiter, also muss Yoshiki dran glauben, damit es weitergeht. Ich habe ja Safe-Scammed, damit er dran ist. Aber pssst. But we could have saved Yoshiki.
I will not save anyone at your expense.
But I could have saved him. But I could have saved him.
The past cannot be altered.
Denkst du? I know. But I miss him so much, it hurts.
I understand. I also miss him and his unbearable amount of energy.
Einen Moment. So. Ich habe gerade gehört, dass es jetzt Essen gibt. Also mache ich dann den Stream für heute hier aus. Gucken wir dann beim nächsten Mal, wie es hier weitergeht. Wir können ja mal kurz noch hier durchklicken. He did have a lot of energy, didn't he? Let out a small giggle as memories of Yoshiki's exuberance came flooding back.
Come on. You should probably shower before breakfast.
I sighed as I got to my feet. Thanks for waking me up, Nicholas. I'm going to shower before breakfast.
I'm glad that I could help.
Want to join me? See you at breakfast. So. Da können wir ja hier mal speichern. Ja. Oh, 5 Minuten, wenn wir die 2 Stunden voll bekommen. Schade. Aber naja. Wieder was zum Hochladen. Dann noch euch allen schönen 4. Advent und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye bye.